Hi, you guys. Hello, hello. You like my hat today? Kind of basic, but fun. All right. We're moving on to the next lesson. We're talking about the factored form of quadratic functions. Okay, so that's ax squared plus bx plus c. We've talked about zeros before. A zero of a function basically means the solutions, roots. The x-intercepts is a big one we're going to talk about today. Okay, so we first need to review factoring quadratics. Now again, you may have learned a different way from a different teacher, and now that we're in Algebra 2, I'm going to let you keep the way that you've learned. I'm not going to ask you to relearn a new way just because I feel like it. That's not okay. So, I need two numbers that multiply. I'm going to put a dot at 12 and add up to 7. Multiply to make 12 and add up to positive 7. So I'm going to do, if you want, you can do like, what numbers make 12? Okay. 12 times 1, 6 times 2, 3 times 4. Do any of those make 7? When you add them, 3 and 4 make 7. So those are going to be my two numbers here. Now I look at the signs. I want a positive 12 and a positive 7. They're both going to be pluses. And my variable is x, so x. That is how you factor a quadratic. If you multiplied it, you would get what you started with, x squared plus 7x plus 12. All right, number 2. X squared minus 9. X squared minus 9 is a difference of two squares. We talked about this back in August, right? Difference of two squares. What two numbers make 9? 3 and 3. X plus 3, x minus 3. Easy, okay? Now this one has an A in front. An A in front. So I have a method that I'm going to do right now, but some of you may learn a method where it's like an X or a box. Anyways, this is what I do. Okay, so I'm going to do what I do. I look at my A and I say, what two numbers make A? Well, that's easy. A 1 and a 3. Then I'm going to look and I'm going to say, okay, well, what makes a 2? Okay, now this is where we have to kind of like maybe play around with numbers. What makes 2? Well, 1 times 2 makes 2. So what I do now with my method is I diagonally multiply, and I say 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3. Do 3 and 2 make 7? No, they don't. But maybe I could switch the ordering and put a 2 here and a 1 here. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Does 6 and 1 make 7? They do. If they're both negative. So, which means that I'm going to have to do 3 times negative 2 and 1 times negative 1. Because look, negative 6 and negative 1 make negative 7. That's my B, right? Then these two are my parentheses. And these are my parentheses. 1x minus 2, which we know is x minus 2. 1x minus 2, x minus 2. 3x minus 1. Okay, so that's my method when A is a 3. You could just do 2 parentheses and plug numbers in and try and like play around with it. Some of you might have learned this, where A times C is up here. There's a 6. My A's go here. My negative 7 goes down there. Maybe you learned that method. There's a lot of different methods. Okay, let's practice number 4. Number 4, using the method I have. What makes 2? 1 times 2. Well, great. What two factors make 6? I'm going to put them underneath it, a 2 and a 3. Could be 6 and 1. Could be 3 and 2. I have to wait and see. I'm going to multiply diagonally. I'm trying to make a 1 in the middle. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. Do 4 and 3 make a positive 1? They do if it's a positive 4 and a negative 3, which means this has to be negative down here. 4 minus 3 is 1, and that's my B. Do you want me to put ABC? I don't know. This is my parenthesis, and this is my parenthesis. X plus 2, 2x minus 3. And there's my 2-factored parentheses. Okay, next, for 5, 6, and 7. It's this is a little hint. Set each factor equal to 0. Okay, number 5 is already equal to 0. I need 2 numbers that multiply to make 42 and add up to 1. 42, guys. 42 times 1. 21 times 2. 6 times 7. Can I make 1 out of any of those by adding them? I hope you said 6 and 7. But the signs, I want a positive 1. Well, if I add a positive 7 and a negative 6, that, yeah. Now set it equal to 0 though. And here we go. Solve each one for x. X minus 6 equals 0. X plus 7 equals 0. X equals 6. X equals negative 7. I solved. Those are my 2 solutions. Those are going to be my 2 x-intercepts. These are my 2 roots. These are my 2 zeros. These are my 2 solutions. Okay. Here. Set it equal to 0. We call it the zero product property. Do you remember that? Zero product property. It's not set equal to 0. I need to move everything to one side. I always want my A to be positive. So I'm going to move my 9x over to the left by adding it. I'm going to move my 5 over to the left by subtracting it. 2x squared plus 9x equals 5. Please now move the 5 over by subtracting it. 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 equals 0. Now I need to figure out what my 2 parentheses are going to be. I want you to press pause and try and do it yourself. I got x plus 5 and 2x minus 1 equals 0. Set them both equal to 0 and solve. X plus 5 equals 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. And solve for x. X equals negative 5. That one's easy. But this next one, just slowly add 1 to both sides. Divide by 2 both sides. X equals 1/2. These are my 2 solutions. Roots, zeros, x-intercepts. Zeros, yeah, I said it, okay. Last one. Oh, just the 20 is not there. Okay, move the 20 over, minus 20. Two numbers that multiply to make 20 but add up to 8. 10 times 2. That's it, the first one I said. X something 10, X something 2. I want a positive 8. Positive 10 minus 2 makes a positive 8. So set them both equal to 0. Solve for X. Okay. And there we go. Okay. All right. The graph shows the function defined by y equals x squared plus 2x minus 8. How do the zeros of the function relate to the factors? My x-intercept is -4, and my x-intercept is positive 2. Well, what are the factors of this trinomial? X squared plus 2x minus 8. Oh, sorry, equals 0. Two numbers that multiply to make -8 but add up to positive 2. 4 times 2. To make a positive 2, to add them, positive 4 and negative 2. Right? Well, 4 and 2, but the signs are opposite. Well, if I set them equal to 0, that means I have to keep going and solve. X equals -4. X equals 2. Those are my x-intercepts. Those are my zeros. That's how they relate, because the x-intercepts are the zeros, are the solutions, are the roots. Find the zeros of this given graph. You guys just factor it. Factor it. Two numbers that multiply to make 20 and add up to positive 4. 9, whoa. Add up to 20, I'm sorry. Let me restart. Multiply to make 20, add up to -9. There it is. 4 and 5. But they both have to be negative because I want -4 and -5 put together, and that makes a -9. X minus 4 equals 0. Set it equal to 0. X minus 5 equals 0. X equals 5. X equals 4. And X equals 5. Again, my zeros are my x-intercepts. 4 and 5. Okay. All right, we're going to work together in class, and this is a Pearson assignment. Okay, so we'll do that tomorrow during class, so you don't have any work to do tonight. We just took notes. Okay, you guys? Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Bye.